On this episode of the Rock Class Videos, we will consider 8 times when Jesus said, I am. Coming up next. Hey there, welcome back to another Rock Class video. I hope that you're having a very great day today. It's kind of later in the evening, and as a result, you can hear the cicadas singing there in the trees behind me. In this video, I want to talk to you about 8 times when Jesus used the 2 words, I am. All right, we're going to talk about 8 different times that Jesus used the words, I am. Now, the first one is found in John chapter 6, in both verses 35 and verse 48. Follow along here. Jesus said, I am the bread of life. He says, he who comes to me shall never hunger, and he who believes in me shall never thirst. And then in verse 48, he simply says, I am the bread of life. So there's the first I am statement we find made by Jesus. I am the bread of life. But there's another I am statement that Jesus makes, and this is I am the light. Think about this for a moment. In John chapter 8, verse 12, Jesus says, I am the light of the world. Think about that for a moment. I am the light of the world. He says, he who follows me shall not walk in darkness, but have the light of life. Also, in John chapter 9, verse 5, Jesus said, as long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. So far we have 2 statements that Jesus has made. I am the bread of life, he says, and I am the light of the world. Now the next one is very interesting. This one comes from John chapter 8, verse 58. In talking about Abraham, Jesus says, most assuredly I say to you, before Abraham was, I am. Now think about that for a moment. He says, before Abraham was, I am. Now that says a lot about Jesus, more than really what we have time to go into. But let's continue. We also find that Jesus will refer to himself as the door. Now listen to this. This is John chapter 10, verses 7 through 9. Most assuredly I say to you, I am the door of the sheep. Notice that. He says, I am the door of the sheep. All who ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door. If anyone enters in by me, he will be saved, and he will go in and out and find pastures. So there we have it. Jesus says, I am the door. But we also find from the same chapter, by the way, John chapter 10, this time in verse 11, we see Jesus saying, I am the good shepherd. So think about that for a moment. Not only is he the door that the sheep will go in and out of, but he's also the good shepherd. All right, let's continue. I think you probably know this already. This is on one of the charts that we review on whenever we are having Bible classes. Now, John chapter 11, verses 25 through 26. Here's the 6th thing that Jesus says that he is when he uses the I am statement. Are you ready? John 11, verses 25 through 26, Jesus says, I am the resurrection and the life. Now think about that. I am the resurrection and the life. This is what Jesus says. He who believes in me, though he may die, he shall live. And whoever lives and believes in me shall never die. So Jesus is the resurrection and the life. 2 more. The 7th one comes from John chapter 14, verse 6. Now notice this one. Jesus says here, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Notice that. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Now that should be very comforting to us, to know that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And now the last one. The last time, at least of the 8 that we will talk about in this video, that Jesus says, I am. This comes from John chapter 15, verse 1, and then in verse 5. Are you ready? Jesus says, I am the true vine. That's right. I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Then in verse 5, he says, I am the vine, and you are the branches. He who abides in me and I in him bears much fruit, for without me you can do nothing. Now that's pretty amazing, isn't it? So let's do a real quick review, about the times that Jesus says, I am. Are you ready? He says, I am the bread of life. He says, I am the light of the world. He says, before Abraham was, I am. And then he says, I am the door of the sheep. That's right. I am the door of the sheep. And then he also says, I am the good shepherd. That's right, the good shepherd. And he says, I am the resurrection and the life. Very good, very good. He then says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And then the last one, do you remember what it was? That's right. I am the true vine. Great job. And if maybe this was the first time you've heard this, go back and watch the video later and review this information, these times that Jesus said, I am. Listen, I want you to know that I am so thankful to God for you. I am so thankful for your interest in spiritual matters, in learning about God, about Christ, about the Holy Spirit, learning about the Bible. I'm so thankful for you. I'll see you next time on our next Rock Class video. Have a great day.